What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to yet another American Truck Simulator video. This time in Australia, also on a different Australian map, the Australian Outback map by Rob V. This is another one of the two really good Australian maps that are out there. This one is also based in Western Australia. This one is more sort of geared towards off-road driving on dirt tracks and things like that. It has a lot of custom touches, as does the Project Australia map. One thing I really like about this map is your yard. It's not a garage in the traditional sense. It is basically a yard, which makes it neat. You know, you just park your stuff outside, and it's really cool. It's very well detailed. There's some cool props kicking around. You know. And it's a cool sort of difference from the default SCS garages that you get in most maps. So what are we doing today? Well, we are in the fantastic K100E, Kenworth K100E by Mr. Overfloater. This is available for free on the Steam Workshop, and I'll leave a link in the description to all the mods I'm using in this video, like I always do. I'm hauling a double road train of some curtain siders. These are by I'm not 100% certain who they're actually by. I believe these were CAM or TSA originally. Now they're on the Steam Workshop by Custom Aussie Mods. Aussie. I think I said it right this time. So, you know, I don't know if these were if the person who uploaded these had permission. I hope they did. It's kind of difficult to find Australian specific stuff. You know, obviously there's not a lot of it out there. There's some payware stuff that's very good. There's a lot of stuff out there that's been around for a long time that hasn't been converted properly to new versions of the game and stuff. These seem to have been. They work. You know, they look pretty good. It's a double road train. I didn't want to go with a triple or anything like that, just because I'm not 100% on driving them just yet. I thought a double was probably long enough. The skins are by a guy called Brusher. They're basically just dirt skins. They look really good. The skin on the truck is by him as well. It's a Dinsdale Transport skin for the K100E. Looks really good. It's a very nice skin. The sounds are the Cat C16 again by Z-Mods, because I really like that sound. And it fits perfectly with this skin because it's got a Caterpillar sticker on the side and cat on the sun visor. So it fits perfect with this particular skin. Trilix wheels, those are available on the Steam Workshop. And Rusty's Dirty Tire mod, which is also available on the Steam Workshop. So I told you I was going to try to get away from a lot of payware stuff. The only payware thing on this in this video right now is the map, and I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. I also picked up a sound pack for trucks that I don't use Z-Mods sounds for. Just to enhance the air brakes and the blinker sounds and some of the internal sounds of the truck that Z-Mods doesn't do yet. So this is JC Amateur Sound Pack. It's also available on the Steam Workshop, and I'll leave links to all this stuff in the description. So what are we doing today? We are in Charleville. We are hauling fertilizer to Plum's Farm. It's 85 kilometers, but this map is a 1-to-2 scale. So every kilometer you drive in the map is 2 kilometers in real life. So this is probably going to be a fairly long video. I'll give you a quick look at the map, show you where we are and where we're going. So here we are in Charleville. We're going down here to Plum's Farm, which is, you know, a fair lick away. And hopefully, I know this is all bitumen. This Highway 14 is all bitumen. Hopefully this part here is not ridiculous. It doesn't have the mud that Rob V likes to put on some of his dirt tracks. I mean, again, it's interesting and it poses a challenge for driving. Unfortunately, SCS just doesn't do mud very well. They don't have deformable physics and all that. And you just end up just kind of slamming over it. And it, you know, again, with me, it's a game balance thing, right? I like it, but it's not ideal, and it sort of takes some of the enjoyment out of the drive. But if you have a good drive, a little bit of mud isn't the worst thing in the world. I would like maybe more sort of visual mud as opposed to actual 3D mud. But that's just me. You know what I mean? I don't make the map. Rob's allowed to make the map however he likes. So anyway, let's jump in the truck, get fired up, and get down the road. We'll get it fired up here. I left the blinker on because I was testing. These sounds. I do like them. They sound very nice. So one thing that I've learned about getting out of here is that, especially with something long like a double or a triple or God forbid a quad, you have to come all the way around the yard to get straight to go out this exit, because it's not very wide, and you need to be straight, otherwise you're going to hook this fence. Now I hope I can get this out of here. I haven't tried this yet with these trailers, so we're going to find out. I will say I really like the sound pack. I like the air brake noises and the blinker noises and all that stuff, and along with Z-Mod's fantastic C16 cat engine sounds. You know, this is about as immersive as it gets. All right, anyway, let's go. We'll toot to the horn to say we're leaving, and off we go. So got some shifter noises there too, which is cool. Yeah, this is a pretty narrow exit and entrance into this yard, so you got to be careful, especially pulling something this long. I have a tendency to hook stuff on this right hand fence over here, so at least with a cab over, I can go all the way up to this fence and then swing it. Hopefully, I don't hook the fence, and hopefully, I can get out of here without hooking the back trailer on that gate. Just take it nice and easy till we're all the way out on the road. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to find out in a minute here once this back trailer makes that final swing. Yep, we did it. Excellent. Get back in the middle of the road. It's 11:54 in the morning. It's a beautiful sunny day here in the Outback. So hopefully it stays that way. It isn't going to rain. I have the rain turned all the way off on this map. I may turn it back on a little bit. For some reason, the atmosphere, the feel of this map just says to me that it wouldn't rain very much. So I sort of turned the rain down. I'm curious to see how these trailers pull. You know, these are pretty old from what I understand. They've been around for quite a while. They do work. They hook up. The cables hook up and everything. The only thing that I can't seem to get working is the lights, the turn signals and stuff on the trailers don't work. But okay, you know, to have another piece of Australian themed stuff, you know, I can live with that, I guess. So more American truck, more Australian stuff. Why? Because I'm just having such a good time with it. You know, I enjoy driving these trucks. I enjoy driving on these roads. I enjoy hauling these Australian themed trailers and stuff. It's just a lot of fun. So if I'm enjoying it, like I keep saying in every video, I'm going to make videos about it. You know, I want to thank everybody for watching and for commenting and for leaving the likes and everything. It means a lot to me. You know, I'm glad you guys are enjoying yourselves. You know, and to anybody who's new to the channel, welcome and thanks for stopping by. If you like what you see, all you ever have to do here is click the subscribe button, click the like button if you like the video. If you have any questions or comments or anything, leave a comment. I read every single thing. I reply to almost everything I get. So very simple to be part of our little community here. Okay, so now here's one thing about this particular pullout is you can't really see where you're pulling out. So I gotta look outside the truck. Okay. Onto this little narrow bit of bitumen here. Jump back in the truck. It's going to be a pretty long blast down this Highway 14. Yeah, I got to say, I'm a big fan of these of this JC's amateur sounds pack. You know, he says amateur, but they sound pretty good to me. You know, again, trying to showcase some free stuff. Obviously, the map is a subscription-based thing. You make a pledge to Rob V's Patreon, you get access to the map and to all the updates and to his Discord and to all the support and everything you may need. But everything else is, with the exception of the engine sounds, is free. So. One thing about this bitumen versus the Project Australia bitumen is, while that undulates up and down a lot, this is actually bumpy. So I'm going to try to keep the speed to something, not ridiculous. I think probably 55 miles an hour, around 90K will be fast enough. Don't want the trailers swaying around so much that they flip over, so. So I got to say, I'm really enjoying my first 2 days off in a row in about 3 months. I rarely get 2 days off in a row. It's just the way the schedule works in the department that I work in. There's not a lot of us, and so somebody needs to be there every day, obviously. We're a busy department. We sell a lot of meat in the store that I work in, so I don't get 2 days off very often, about every 3 months or so. And unfortunately, what ends up happening a lot of times is that I'll be scheduled for 2 days off in a row, and then some crisis will erupt. Somebody will call out, or something will happen, and I'll end up having to work for part of one of my days off, or both my days off. So this time didn't have to work at all today. Got quite a few videos made, which you guys will see over the next week or so. And hopefully I can get some more done tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow is going to be a farm sim day. I had a very quick go at Farm Sim 22 when my good friend Cavalier Roy bought it for me. I guess he figured, well, BP, it's been long enough now. You don't have Farm Sim 22, so you're not going to get it for yourself. So I'm going to have to get it for you, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you, Roy, my friend. Obviously, I'm a Farm Sim guy. The backbone of this channel was always Farm Sim. So the one thing, and again, back when I had time to make videos all the time, and I had time to delve into every nut and bolt and every facet and every news item and everything else about Farm Sim, I was a lot more knowledgeable. I knew what I was talking about for the most part, and I had some pretty strong opinions about Farm Sim 22. Is it going to be anything? Is it going to be so different that it isn't just going to be Farm Sim 19 again, right? Well, obviously, it isn't, right? There's a huge difference between Farm Sim 19 and Farm Sim 22. I've played it, honest to God, for about 5 minutes. And here's a funny story, Roy, and for everybody else for that matter. With all the different Farm Sim versions, and I've been playing Farm Sim since Farm Sim 13, so quite a while now. You'd think I would be, I would just be able to jump in and off I go, right? I couldn't figure out how to put my tractor into reverse. I don't know if that was a it's a control issue. Maybe I don't have a control set correctly, or I just don't understand how the gearboxes in Farm Sim 22 work. You know what I mean? So what I'm hoping to be able to do tomorrow is to do some setup, get it set up. Get on a map that I like. Pretty sure I know which map I'm going to use. And get it set up and get some farming done, right? Get farming, probably long seasons and slowing everything down. That's the way I like to play. In case anybody's curious, I still do play Farm Sim 19. I'm still on Flint Hills, which is a great map. I really enjoy it. Like anything with me, if I find someplace I like, I stay there forever. And I'll just keep running seasons and having a good time. Oh, I don't like this. I like this not one bit. This is very narrow when there's trucks on the other side. Ooh. That's gotta be fun in real life. When you're on what to me looks like a one-lane road, and you come up to an even narrower bit, and then all of a sudden, there's a truck or a car on the other side. But yeah, so hopefully we can get 3-4 Farm Sim videos done. Get the farm set up and start some field work and things like that. I know a lot of things in that regard have changed, field work and all that sort of stuff. So all things I've always said that I'd like to see in Farm Sim, right? Now, believe me, I don't think for a minute that anybody at Giants ever watched any of my videos. You know what I mean? I know better than that. You know, they weren't watching my videos going, oh, you know, this BP guy's got some good ideas. Camel. But it's good to see that they are listening to the community, you know, because the farm sim community is one of the most loyal communities you'll ever see, right? I mean, we play these games for years and years and thousands of hours, you know, so giving us something once in a while is just good business sense. So there's one big difference between this map and Project Australia. You may have seen the Campbell sort of loping across the street there. You know, this map has camels, it has kangaroos, it has cows that walk across the road and stop in front of you, which is always fun. Even with a bull bar, you wouldn't want to hit a fully grown cow, because that'll just, you know, introduce you to your windshield in a big hurry. Yeah, you know, these trailers seem to be okay. They pull okay. You know, I have my trailer stability turned down pretty low. I have obviously the suspension stiffness turned way down. So they're waving around a little bit, but they do that in real life, so it's not so bad. You know, this isn't the smoothest road in the world. So it's they seem to be reacting pretty much as you'd expect. You know, there's a couple little things with them. You know, it'd be nice to put on some different wheels and tires, but they don't really fit. These are a very specific size wheel and tire. If you put anything bigger, they work, but they sort of clip through the body of the trailer, which, you know, for me, kind of ruins the immersion. So, you know, that's fine. And then, of course, the light's not working, but again, that could be something I could fix, I suppose, if I could be bothered to spend the time to find out what I need to do to fix it. One of the things I enjoy about this map is, you know, in Project Australia, it feels like there's more stuff to the left and right of you, right? It's got a bigger feel to it, scale-wise. This map is a little bit more intimate. The trees come up to the road, and there's not as much stuff on the side of the road. I've been watching a lot of road train videos and a lot of Australian, you know, trucking videos and stuff. And when they get on these smaller roads like this is exactly what it looks like. You know what I mean? It's just kilometers of trees and grass and, you know, massive cattle stations and cows on the side of the road and things like that. And this map does that feel perfect. You know, they both the Australian maps have slightly different feels to them, slightly different ways that I want to play them. You know what I mean? But I fully enjoy both of them. So, you know, and I play both of them, obviously. You know, again, gonna say it again in the fourth video now. It is a fantastic time to be a truck simmer. Here I am in Outback, Australia, driving a really cool truck, hauling some cool trailers in an awesome place. I mean, how much more, you know, how much better can it get? I guess we're gonna find out. Oh, and the International 9900i, I probably got that completely wrong, but I think that's what it's called, released today. SES released a new truck, had a sort of a mini update. I had a look at it. It's a nice looking truck. The interior especially is very nice. It's not a modern truck in the sense of like a Freightliner Cascadia or, you know, something like that, or a Western Star, but it's a nice looking truck, and the interior is very nice. So you'll probably see one of those in a video before too much longer too, I would imagine. You can kind of tell how much the truck's moving around by my minions there swinging. They haven't stopped moving since we pulled out, so. That's one thing about this map. You gotta want to drive. Because unlike, you know, ETS, which is 1 to 35 scale, right, I think, and ATS, which is 1 to 25 scale, on the default map anyway, this is 1 to 2. You know, every kilometer you drive, you know, on this map is 2 kilometers in the real world. So you got to want to sit down and and put in the time, which for me is fine because I love driving and I love driving through this stuff. So I have no problem with this whatsoever. It's not so bad on the bitumen, because you can get it. You can do 90K and it's not so bumpy that you can't. It's just on the gravel, on the smooth gravel, 40, 50K, no worries, 60K even. When it gets bumpy, you're down to 20K, 10K sometimes. But that's all part of the experience, right? That's why we play on these kind of maps. Wouldn't want it to be any other way. It is a bright and sunny day today. I have no idea what the temperature is because this truck doesn't have an onboard computer, so I don't know what the actual temperature is. I bet it's warm, though. It looks warm. Let's put it that way. Coming up to a rail crossing. It would be kind of neat to see the trains. Now, the trains that run around here are massive. These massive ore trains that are 3 or 4 or 5 kilometers long, and you're sitting at a rail crossing for 20 minutes while this thing inches its way across. Now I get it that not everybody would enjoy that, but as far as immersion and experience, man, that would be pretty cool. It's just unfortunately ATS doesn't do very long trains very well. I know when American Truck Simulator first came out, the first thing everybody wanted to do was make these giant 3-mile long American freight trains, and they just didn't work very well, unfortunately. So there's a lot of cool train mods out there, but mostly it's retexturing to make them look like American trains or whatever. You just can't make them long. The game doesn't like it. A little hazy this afternoon. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, but it is getting a little cloudy. I don't think it's not going to rain. I mean, I have the rain probability turned all the way down. So it may get a little cloudy, though, which probably isn't the worst thing in the world. It's probably 35 Celsius right now, which is pretty hot. I really like this K100. It's a comfortable truck. It's left-hand drive, but okay. Again, it's American Truck Simulator, right? You're going to have to take some level of compromise. I have no problem with a left-hand drive truck. I love my Mack Superliner. That's a right-hand drive truck. I love it. But if I want to drive something different, I will. And if it's left-hand drive, then it is. I'm not going to, unfortunately, spend the time it takes to convert one of these over to right-hand drive because it isn't a simple thing. You got to create an entirely new interior, to convert these to right-hand drive. So I'm not too worried about it. I'll be perfectly happy driving on the left side of the road on the left side of the truck. So, and if more right-hand drive ATS stuff comes out, then I'll use that too. So as long as it's good. Little sort of Australian traffic pack wouldn't be the worst thing either. Maybe with more Australian themed stuff. And I get it that most, it's all mods now, and it's hard to incorporate that in the traffic packs, without getting accused of stealing and all this other stuff. But it'd be cool to see some doubles and triples and quads going down the road. You do see doubles in this occasionally, which is cool. I like how the scenery subtly changes as you get, I want to say this is probably west. You sort of start off in the sort of east-western part of Australia, right? Or east-west Australia, which makes no sense, I realize, but and you sort of go west down this road, and the scenery starts to change. It starts to get a little more green. You start to see more variations in the height. There start to be more cliff, cuts that the road goes through, things like that. All little stuff that when you're driving down what is basically a arrow straight ribbon of road in the middle of the Outback in Australia, you got something to look at. You got trees, you got grass, you got cows, you got camels, all this really neat stuff. It never feels boring. It never feels tedious. I've been down this road probably 25 times since I first got this map, and not once have I ever said, oh, geez, I got to do that again, you know? Because if I said that, I wouldn't do it. It's just fun. I genuinely enjoy it. You know, like I said in another video, the way this is all designed and the way it all works together, it puts you in the environment. You know, I feel like I'm in Western Australia. Like I can almost, it's cold here in New England, right? It's about 8 o'clock at night on a Tuesday night here in, you know, March in New England, and it's cold. But I feel hot because it's probably 35 degrees Celsius, you know, on this map right now. So that's the best, you know, immersion you could possibly ask for. You know, and one thing, the off-road driving, the track drive, the dirt track driving in this, it is really, really good. But it isn't all that, right? I know slowly a lot of these roads that are dirt tracks are getting paved, they're getting sealed, right? So there's going to be less and less of that as time goes on. Now, obviously, the access roads and the tracks to these massive cattle stations are probably always going to be dirt because, you know, they're hundreds of kilometers long, you know, and these cattle station owners aren't going to pay to have that stuff sealed up, right? And I get it. But, you know, there is bitumen driving in Australia, a lot of it, so it's nice to be able to do that once in a while. You know, and when you get bored with that, well, there's plenty of gravel to drive on in this map too, so this really is a full sort of circle experience. I like these cattle grids too, because some of them stick up just enough that you get a hit going over them. You have to be a little careful. They're not so bad on the bitumen. Some of them on the dirt tracks are properly tall though. Because that one wasn't bad. That one was pretty flush, so you didn't really even feel going over it. And when I first started driving on this, so the lines will come and go, right? The road markings, and I thought that was just maybe a texturing issue, or maybe it was oops, got a turn coming up. Gonna turn that on, so I don't try to blow by another turn like I like to do so often. But yeah, I thought the road markings, maybe it was just, you know, Rob had this 3D road with texture markings on it, then he wanted to use something different or whatever. But as it turns out, it's actually, that's how it is. They don't mark every mile of road, so, which makes sense, I guess. That would have to be really expensive with the amount of mileage of road out here. All right, now we're gonna be a little careful here making this turn. Just want to watch that back trailer. We're hauling fertilizer. I don't know if I said that, by the way, so I got to be a little gentle with it. So I said in the last video that that at least on this map, when you see that vegetation in the middle of the road, that probably denotes that the road's going to start getting rough. Now, I'd like to think that Rob and Venom, you know, did that as a reference point for us, right? I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the way I'm going to think, because every time I see this bit of vegetation in the road tends to get rough. So I can remember there's one very long stretch of really smooth gravel where you can literally you can go down it at 35, 40 miles an hour, you know, and it's fantastic. But then all of a sudden you start to see the vegetation in the middle of the road and you're like, oh, I better slow down. Like right here. See what I mean? Now you can see that there's a dip there, right? So, and there was. So I think I'm going to stick to my my hypothesis that they put this vegetation there to let you know. So in case you're bombing down this road, you know, you better slow down or your truck's you're gonna break the front of your truck off. I'm a big fan of these sounds, I gotta say. I mean, oh, see, that was a little rough. That was a little rough. These sounds are really good. JC's Amateur Sound Pack, available on the Steam Workshop. I'll have a link in the description. Definitely check it out, guys. If you don't have Z-mounted sounds or, you know, sounds for a specific truck, these are great. You know, they're just good enough that, you know, they're not overpowering. They're not over the top. They're just really good. Fantastic. I jump out here for a minute, have a look at this rig. Oh, you gotta wonder how long those chrome rims would hold up on these roads. I mean, obviously, they're polished aluminum, right? They're probably pretty rugged, so pretty good looking truck though. Pretty good looking rig. I like the dirt on the curtains, and I think that's neat. So yeah, all in all, I'm very impressed. The road's getting a little rough now. I hope there's no mud on the entrance to this farm. I don't remember if there is or not. I guess we'll find out. Oh, it looks like there is. This mud. So I've got a love-hate with this mud. I get it. I understand, that sometimes, especially, after the wet, these roads can get very muddy. The problem is the way mud works in SCS. Like anything else, this is just a texture. In this case, it's a 3D texture, but it doesn't deform. You don't slide through it or over the top of it or anything. You just bounce from one hole to another, and it's really, really hard to get through it without tearing your truck up. So we got to slow way down. In fact, lock the diffs. Now, yep, see? And you just come to a complete stop. Obviously, in real mud, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't come to a complete stop. You just sort of squish through it, and you'd lose traction, and you'd get stuck, and things like that. But this is just, I don't know. I see what Rob's going for here, but I'm just not a big fan of it. It's a game balance thing with me, is all it is. So, if you got your suspension set soft enough, and you got a good enough truck, that isn't an inch off the ground, you won't have any trouble getting through this. You just got to pick your way through it. Just got to be careful is all. I bet these trailers are probably not going to be real thrilled with this. But luckily, it doesn't go on for, 50 miles, so it's okay. I should have remembered that this was here, because this is the place I came with the Wilson trailers with the sheep, so I should have remembered this was here. Just gotta watch that back trailer, make sure it gets all the way out. There we go. All right, cool. Now, where is this going? Is it going this way, or is it going the other way, which means I'm gonna have to go all the way around? Well, I can't go around the house. So what I'm going to have to do is go this way. Now, if I was smart, I'd give myself as much room as I possibly can give myself. Gas station there, which is handy. Obviously out here, this far out, you would need, fuel. You would need things like that. So, oh, hey, look, it's me. This guy taking the trash out after a long day. Looks like something I do every day. Nice to have a workshop. Looks like that Ford could use a little work. That Ford's having a bad day. All right, let's see. Can we get this where it needs to go without too much trouble? Oh, not even close, huh? Not even close. How am I going to do this? Oh, I set off this guy's car alarm. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to have to try that again, because obviously I'm not going to get this anyway. You know what? Just to save the sort of, I know, guys, but just to save me having to drive all the way around again and try to figure this out, I see what I should have done. I should have came in on the left over there, took a right turn at that windmill, and came back around. I wasn't paying attention. That's my fault. But just to save all that, I'll just shut the truck off, and we'll hit the T button and let it unload. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be, but that's because most of it was on bitumen, and we got a chance to get up to speed, which was nice. As always, I'll leave the links to all the mods that I'm using in the description of the video. If you have any questions about this map, or maybe you got this map and you can't get it to work, maybe you don't understand the installation instructions, which are very good, or anything like that, feel free to ask. Like I said, I read every comment. I reply to almost all of them, as long as they're not spammy or trolly or whatever. I really look forward to hearing from you guys. Let me know what map are you running on right now. Are you running on Pro Mods? You running on Great America? Maybe Grand Utopia? Any of those kind of maps? Let me know. Let me know. What map are you driving on, and what are you driving? I'd really be curious to hear what you guys are doing too. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. And this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.